This is a debrief of day 41 of my GMAT Prep. In this video, I will talk primarily about my learnings from practicing about 58 verbal reasoning questions and 33 data insights questions. Not all the practice sets I picked up on this day were timed because I was working through GMAT problems while sitting in the waiting room of a hospital. So during this debrief, I will focus more on accuracy and learnings from my mistakes without delving too much into velocity. On the verbal section, I attempted 3 practice sets consisting of 20, 18 and 20 questions respectively. I took between 50 and 53 minutes on each of these practice sets. I responded correctly to 16, 15 and 19 questions correctly across the 3 practice sets. In total, 58 questions answered and 7 answered incorrectly. The 7 questions consisted of 2 easy, 1 medium and 4 hard questions. Of those 7 questions, I was able to answer only 2 correctly when I reattempted them. I was unable to answer the remaining 5 questions correctly even when I reattempted them without a time constraint, indicating that I'm missing certain language processing capabilities required to answer these questions correctly. The important thing to note here is that you don't need to aim for 100% accuracy on the GMAT verbal section to obtain a percentile score of 95 percentile or above. So you will have to get comfortable with making mistakes occasionally. On data insights, I attempted 33 questions in total and answered 8 questions incorrectly. Of those 33 questions, 16 were graphics interpretation questions, 14 were table analysis questions, and 3 were 2-part analysis questions. I answered 2 graphics interpretation questions and 6 table analysis questions incorrectly. Among those 8 mistakes, 5 mistakes were because of the no partial credit rule of the GMAT. In other words, these were questions where I answered only 1 out of 2 or 3 parts of a question incorrectly, but lost credit on the entire question. My mistakes on these questions were because I missed noticing minor details in the question's verbiage, got trapped by GMAT's use of twisted verbiage, or simply forgot important context which was critical to answering the question right. The remaining 3 questions which I answered incorrectly were complex enough that I could not get them right even when I reattempted them with no time constraint. The key lesson from this mistake is that I need to keep optimizing the trade-off between pushing hard on velocity and solving questions carefully. When it comes to the GMAT, there is no perfect world. The best you can do is try to minimize the mistakes that start creeping into your performance as you attempt to answer all the required questions within the given time limit. Overall, note that I did not necessarily learn anything new from these questions from a conceptual or behavioral standpoint. My emphasis is more on optimizing my execution of both conceptual and behavioral principles. Alright, so that is all for today. I will catch you in the next video.